flowing, so you know where we're going. We're going on a backlot tour, and I am your co-host. No, I am your tour guide, Captain Zach, and as with me always is the Beans, and she's not here to defend herself. This is just a continuation of the Star Cruiser Part 2, so enjoy. Anyways, next morning we get up, go breakfast. Breakfast is delicious. We didn't have creamer that I could use because I can't do milk. And
I made a huge mistake.
Big mistake. The blue milk is on tap, and I was like,
and so is the green milk.
And apparently it's coconut milk based, I think.
Yeah,
coconut.
it is. It's
so I was like, I'll just put this in my coffee. It did not taste good.
Yeah, I don't know why you did that. I told you it's a bad idea while you were doing
bad.
it.
Like, I'm gonna say it's straight bad to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good. Like the blue milk, green milk is good. Yeah. I don't like it.
So you can go to Batu as early as 9 a.m. The excursion time is 9 to 4. But, you know, we have kids who normally get us up at like 6:30, 7 a.m. So we wanted to sleep in.
Sleeping in is like 7:30.
Yeah. And I needed to do my hair too, Princess Leia style in the buns. So that took a little time. So we didn't actually end up at Batu until 11. But tell them about the transport to Batu.
Oh, the transport to Batu. You get in there,
You have to go down to a special section on the ship to board it.
Remind me to circle back to that because there was complaints because the guy in front of us that was going there had the same complaint. Anyways, we get on the transport and it's like this. It's obviously a bus, but it's like you feel like you're kind of like in Aliens, I guess, like going down to the planet because it's very like rickety feeling and you're like there's like space music and like there's no windows and it's like. Burr, 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 burr.
Well. There are windows, aren't there?
No, there's no windows. There's no windows on that thing.
Oh, None. You're right. There's not.
It's just dark. It's just like you're just in a transport, and then it opens it up, and then you're in like you end up in the back part of Batu by the Kylo Ren ship, and you come out and you're just there, which is kind of nice because if you want the immersive experience, like as you know, like. That area you can't see out of it. So if you stayed in that area, you'd still feel like you were just on another planet.
So,
although we have kids and we met them there, so we had to go to Toy Story
my mom
Land.
brought the kids to Batu to meet us because we didn't like this is the first time we've ever gone this long without the kids.
But the first thing we did, we went and bought 1 billion lightsabers.
Yeah.
Before we met them, because I was like, I want to get.
Yes, we bought 3 hilts, I think.
I was like, I want Cal Kestis.
I wanted Rey's actual lightsaber.
And I wanted Darth Maul's like Shadow Blade.
Yeah.
And so we got them, and then there's no place to like if you bought one of those, they're bulky and heavy and like horrible to carry around.
And we didn't have the stroller to put them in.
We didn't have a stroller to put them in like we usually do. So I was like, well, there's no lockers at the front to leave them, so you kind of have to.
Well, the front being meaning
the front of your transport,
right.
Basically. They should have like this little thing where you could like put your merch because it's like very obnoxious to carry around. So I ended up having to go back on the transport all the way to our hotel room, drop off our stuff, and waste like 30 minutes, and then come back. That was one of my complaints. It was just like there needs to be a locker system just so you don't have to like haul this crap around.
Anyway, so being on Batu, you only have the time from 9 to 4 there. And I feel like if you're going to do the missions, you have to be there the whole time. And again, we didn't get there till 11. Probably didn't actually start trying to do our missions until like 11:30.
It's very hot outside.
Yes, Batu. They picked like the hottest spot in
and also
the
we're
park.
Very hungry, and I want my Ronto wrap.
Yeah. So they actually give you like a credit for a free meal and a free alcoholic beverage while you're
the only time you get an alcoholic beverage
on Batu, and you don't have to use it in Batu. You could use it somewhere else in the park.
Yeah, but I'm gonna get a Ronto wrap. I'm not gonna go to backlot tours. And get my food. I'm going to go to Ronto Roasters and get my food.
It's called Backlot Express.
I'm not going to go to Backlot Express and get my food.
Yeah, after we ate, it was kind of crunch time. So you get a fast pass for Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run, and Rise of the Resistance. And we did Smuggler's Run.
We never ridden Smuggler's Run together. I've only ridden it with myself and no other people I know, and I hated it.
And I was on a bachelorette trip last year, so I got to ride it with
it's better with
girls.
people you know.
But Cassie and I got to be pilots, so that was fun.
told them,
and we somehow unknowingly unlocked that little Chewie episode thing.
I don't know what that means, but we both told that, like, we told the people out there, like, I'm not going to be an engineer. I'm not going to be a gunner.
Yeah, they tried to make us engineers, and it's like,
I'm
no.
like, I am not going to be an engineer.
Do you see this pin on my chest? We will not be engineers.
The pin is something you get on the cruiser that, like,
you get a special halcyon pin.
When you leave, they give you a special pin to be like, hey, this will give you, like, you know, people will be like, oh, damn, you know. But anyways, we told them, I was like, I want to drive the ship. And so they made us wait for a few minutes, and then, like, they put us on this other thing, and we got on, we drove, we crushed it. And I was like, this is a much better experience than the one I had last time.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So then we needed to run over to Rise of the Resistance. But, I mean, if anybody's, like, been on that ride, it's like, you know, first off, there's the line. Whether or not you're doing Fast Pass, there's going to be a line. And then it's like 20 minutes worth of pre-show and actual ride. And we were just kind of like, we don't have time for this because you have to be back on the Star Cruiser by 4 p.m. Yeah. Or we had, like, bridge training coming up that we needed to be back on time for. And I wanted to eat lunch.
Which someone didn't go to.
Well, we'll get there. I wanted to eat lunch on the Star Cruiser as well. I wanted second lunch.
She wants second lunch. So we flashed our pins.
Well, no, we didn't flash our pins.
Yeah, we did. I was like, we need to get through this fast.
You've never said anything to her. I talked to the cast member, and I asked her, I was just like, hey, do you know how long the lightning lane is right now? And she looked and she saw our pens, and she was like, oh, your halcyon guest. She's like, we can take you in through the back.
She's like, these guys are ballers, yo.
Yeah. So she took us, and there was, like, another family there too who needed to get on quickly. That were halcyon
guests.
guests.
The service back entrance. And got stuck.
No, it's not like the service back end, just like the VIP entrance. So, like, the VIP tours, when they have celebrities and stuff, that's where they go through. So
this is where Tom Hanks goes.
Tom Brady.
This is where Tom Brady goes.
It's the way he went through.
This is where Tom Hanks and Tom Cruise goes this way. Anyways, we end up in the door right before you get in to see Ray and BB-8. So that's how, like, that's, you get spit up right there already. And we're like, okay, cool. And then we do our ride. We get back on the transport to go back. And then you go and start changing again because you have about 4 outfit changes a day.
Well, so we missed our bridge training, and we went to the front desk essentially for the Star Cruiser. Like, we missed it, and they put us in a new time. I thought I'd have time to get ready, but it took longer than expected, and I just kind of needed to rest after all the walking. So we get back from Batu, and we get the bridge training settled. I thought I would have enough time to get ready, but I did not.
I think we did lightsaber training first. We had to get back for lightsaber training.
No, lightsaber training was the night before. We forgot to talk about that.
It was okay. It could have been a lot better.
Yes, we'll do that. We'll cover that under improvements. Yeah, I was getting ready. I went for a Leia throne room aesthetic. Zach bought me the necklace, so I built my outfit around that. Yeah, so tell them about the bridge training because I didn't go to that.
All right, so the bridge training, it's if you're there alone, like I was, because someone was getting ready, it's not as good.
I have an autoimmune condition that does not allow me to stand or walk for more than like 15 or 20 minutes at a time without being in severe pain.
All right, well, you missed some serious stuff.
So I needed the extra time to just rest.
You asked me what it was.
I know, but you're calling me out for not being ready on time. But part of it is I just needed to rest.
So they put you in like a group, and there's like, I think there were 3 groups, and you're all going to different stations, paired up. I was paired up with some rando lady that was there alone also. And you're doing like a shooting exercise, like shooting asteroids, and like an exercise where you're grabbing luggage with a robot in space, and another one where you're like blocking things coming at you. It's like all like kind of video game gamification kind of stuff, and it was fine. I think it would have been better if you're there with someone else. So don't go alone, because I like cracking wise when I'm doing this, and people don't find me as funny if they don't know me, so it's uncomfortable for them probably.
Which is great for this podcast.
So we get through the whole training, and then the First Order full on takes over while I'm doing the trading.
What?
What? So like they bust in and like you're in the bridge and it's a whole giant digital window that's like, 30 feet long of space. Right when they come in, the officer comes in, more stormtroopers entered the scene at this point, more than two. And they're like, order the blockade. And so like TIE fighters start surrounding the ship and they're flying around.
No way.
Yes. I
Oh
was
my
there. I
gosh.
was there when it happened. And like
I was getting ready.
you were getting ready, you missed it. And then in our digital windows in our rooms, you could see the TIE fighters flying around too.
I was in the bathroom getting ready.
Yeah. Well, this all happened. And also at some point the some X-Wings come in and start flying around too.
So we all know what the X-Wings mean after the Mandalorian.
The X
I mean, we knew what X-Wings meant before the Mandalorian, but
It's not a bunch of Lukes flying around. They killed Luke.
don't go by the sequels.
Actually, wait. No.
That's another story, another podcast
Anyways,
episode.
so it all gets a little bit darker because the ship is completely taken over at this point, and there's a lot of more missions happening. I think during this whole time, but at this point, we were like, we're just gonna enjoy ourselves because I think we fell too far behind.
Yeah,
And we
but
just
when we were on
stopped
bed too, after the kids started showing how bored they were after like 30, 45 minutes of us trying to do missions, we were just like, we're done with this. It's just too much on our phones, too much ignoring our
Yeah,
kids.
it's a lot on your phones, and if you're not wanting to be on your phone that much, it's not.
I do
something
think
for you
if
like
we
that.
weren't trying to meet up with our children and spending time with them, it would have been a little different.
Yeah. So we go to dinner that night, and dinner is great again. It's like the courses of different planets. So it was like Mustafar, and then like I don't remember the other two that it goes, but it was all good.
Yeah, and they would change like the lighting and the music too
And they
based
pump,
on the theme.
They pump smells in.
Yeah.
Like it'd be like, this is the smell of the.
Also, okay, so I know blue shrimp is a huge thing when you look up like the the experience and stuff, and people are just like, oh my god, blue shrimp. There's a whole story behind it. I don't recall what the story is, but I mean it just tastes like cocktail shrimp and it's really good.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's a.
it's essentially dyed
And you were eating the
shrimp.
desserts the whole time, and they looked.
Yes, the desserts were always amazing. I especially loved like the first night they had this kind of purple mousse with glitter and everything. It was like chocolate and raspberry essentially, but it was like one of the best things I've ever put in my mouth. It was amazing. And then
That's what she said.
And then the second night, I forget what dessert they had. I'll post a picture of it though. Zach couldn't eat it because it had dairy.
They were like, "Do you want me to bring you 50 desserts?"
They were just like, do you want me to bring his? I was like, no, I want you to bring me like 50 desserts. And they brought 3 out, which was fun. We had a great waitress the second night. We had a great waiter the first night. Everyone was just like absolutely wonderful that was working on the ship. And we were sat next to the same family both nights at dinner, and they were pretty awesome too.
I think everyone has the same seat.
Yes, they do. But they were great. I was able to share my 3 desserts with them too. I mean, they had theirs, but it was like a whole family. So,
And then not much happened at dinner in terms of drama, I don't think. But
I went to the gift shop 3 times during the time that we were in the bar, I think.
yeah, we were in the bar, and you went 3 times while we were sitting in the bar. We were in the bar so that night. We didn't.
After
we
okay,
learned,
well, all right. Let's see. After dinner, we
changed. I think I did.
yes, we changed, and no, I didn't change.
The first store
You
full on
changed.
took over in there too. They put flags up, and they were like, "Rah!"
Yeah,
They were like, "Oh,
something
man."
happened while we were at dinner that they full on took
Yeah, stuff
over.
is happening the whole time, and like the
Yeah,
kid,
and everybody's
the kids,
getting kind of like a little bit of a different story.
all the kids are falling around they're chasing Chewie. Ray's coming into the play at this point. They're trying to smuggle Chewie out.
Yeah, we
There's
saw
all
them
this
like
stuff.
like sneaking around with Ray and like the other cast members on the ship, like the guy who was our guy doing the lightsaber training with us. He was like with all the kids and like he knew them all by name and just telling them just like, Christian, you're the only person who can do this. Go do that, and like just
I
seeing them
think we
little
missed
missions.
a lot
And
by
it
not
was
being like as active. There was a
Right.
lot that happened, but
it was still so much fun.
so we had a bunch of drinks at dinner, and we were like, let's keep this party going. And we went to the bar, and the sabacc table was empty.
Except
we're-
for Anthony.
except for this kid who apparently was there like the whole time. I think it sounded like we did not know how to play sabacc, and we were like,
And we say kid, he was like in his mid-20s.
yeah, to us he's a fetus. So like we got our drinks and sat down. We're like, can you tell us how to play? And like he explained it. It's really easy once you get it. And the table's really cool because it's like
It's
got
only
like,
4 seats.
it's 4 seats and it's only a 4-player game. So it's
Yeah.
got like a treble system, like the dice where it
Mm-hmm.
like pops in the middle. So like you hit this button on your thing and it rolls the dice for you, and you have like a holographic representation of your cards in
Yes,
front
but
of you.
nobody else can see yours.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
So he teaches us and we start playing. It's kind of quiet. There's another person playing, I think, at this point too. So,
Yeah, some guy.
so it's quiet.
He
and
was
I'm like,
nice too, but I don't know
and I'm
his
like,
name.
I'm tipsy. I'm just gonna start talking, and that's not usually
Because
what I
it was
do. I don't
kind of
like talking.
quiet.
It was quiet and awkward. So I just was like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna start a conversation, and then I was like, what's your favorite Star Wars? I think I said
Or
like.
you asked about the character. Who's your favorite character?
Who's your favorite? And we just started going off from there, and it got to the point where
We were talking about Luke Skywalker.
we were talking about Luke Skywalker, and we were having a very loud conversation at the bar, and there was not that many people in, but it got to the point where
Yeah, the
people were
bar's small.
listening in and eavesdropping, and like one girl came up and was like, "Can I join your conversation?" And
She's
then
like, you're talking about Luke Skywalker, and he's my favorite character, so I need to bet in here.
and then like other people started coming over and sitting closer. So we got in a giant conversation about fandoms and Star Wars, and it got to Harry Potter. It touched on everything for like we were there for like 3 hours just talking about stuff.
I
And
think it was longer because dinner was like 5:30 to 7,
I don't
and
know,
we didn't go to bed till
We hogged
midnight.
the table for a long time, and then in the middle of it, the
Yes, the
fit
middle
hit
of
the
it.
shan. That like the whole story came to a crescendo of like
We all had to go to the
Ev-
atrium,
we had to
like
go to the atrium.
sirens going off, and like you could see TIE fighters coming in, and
oh, also in the middle of this, like a British kid came into the bar and was like, "Have you seen Mr. Chewbacca?"
he was so
Like,
adorable.
I think he's downstairs. And, like these kids were just very funny about it. It was very cute because they were just chasing Chewie around and helping him out. But anyways, so
Yeah.
things go crazo soup right here, and Ray comes in, and then you see in the
I'll
digital
post
windows,
this video too.
and Kylo's ship flies past the window, and then he comes in, and they have a full-on lightsaber fight,
And you get to see the real
you get to see
lightsaber.
the real lightsaber, the one that actually, I don't know how it works. Like the whole like middle portion of the ship fell down, like the air vent thing. It looked like destroyed in there. They have a big battle, and
I really liked that the next morning it was still broken.
yeah, and like there's one part where like he used the force on her, and like they must have had like like a moving sidewalk, and she just like flies towards
Yeah.
him. It was it was very
very
clever.
cool.
It was very cool and very clever how it worked. It was like a lot of cool theatrics.
I think the girl they had playing Ray looked similar.
Yeah,
too.
and I think she was doing some cool flips
Yeah.
kind of things and stuff. I think it was really cool, and everyone wins, hurrah! And like there was like a whole long speech, and it was hard to pay attention because at this point I was pretty drunk.
You were drunk?
I mean, I think I had at least I think I had 6 rums at this point. I was comfortable, and I was like,
I was comfortable too.
I was looking around. I was like, this is a lot to follow. There's a lot going on, and I kind of I want to play some sabacc.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Zach was more just like, I just want to go back in there and play.
I was like, we're having a good conversation. Kylo Ren's really
Yeah,
good.
so we all just went back in there and played sabacc until probably about midnight, and then we were just like, crap, we got to get up in the morning and go back to being parents again, and spend the day at Magic Kingdom or whatever.
So I think
We're
we
old.
eventually, like midnight, we left the sabacc table finally.
Yeah.
We hogged it all night. It was, I highly recommend that game.
It was so much fun. We bought the deck that they had available on the
I think
ship,
we
and
got-
we played it last weekend. with our
Coruscant
friends.
Spike.
Shuffle?
There's like Corinthian Spike and
And
Coruscant Spire.
No, I thought it was Shuffle.
No. There's 2 versions of playing, and this one I think was a little different than the one that they play in like Han Solo.
Yeah. So go to bed next morning, get up, we have breakfast, and we leave. It was very sad to leave. Oh, also the gift shop is not open the morning that you leave.
But there is another gift shop.
There
that has
is
done
another
it
gift
right when
shop
you leave because they want to
At
get
the
more money.
exit when you're waiting for your car. And so the gift shop that's at the bottom is not the same stuff that's in the gift shop at
Keychains and shirts and like hats.
inside. It actually says Star Wars on it. So
Yeah, none of the stuff in the shop says Star Wars.
because you're living Star Wars.
Anyways, stay tuned for part 3 where we go over things that should probably be updated or changed. And so stay tuned.